Hi all. Nice job thinking about how you'd write for different audiences in last week's reflections. You all provided some good thoughts about characteristics that will be important to keep in mind when you write your research papers. Your audience is college-educated people who have some elevated understanding of the basic concepts of our class, but not about how those basics apply to the specifics of your topic. Some of the common things you said were: write to provide information, and focus less on trying to provide entertainment. That is indeed a characteristic of technical writing. People who read technical papers read lots of technical papers. They're looking for content. Every extra word is extra time that they could be devoting to something else. Write in a professional tone. You'll notice in the research project rough draft and final paper instructions that you're asked to write in the third-person voice. That is a depersonalized way of writing. Here are some examples of different voices. First-person voice. I should write my paper in third-person voice. Second-person voice. You should write your paper in third-person voice. The third-person voice would be, the paper should be written in third-person voice. No references to I or me or you or us. Writing in third person takes the focus off of you, the author, or me, the reader, as individuals, and puts the focus on the information. That way, the information is applicable across a wide range of people as far as the information should reach. The third-person voice gives you, the author, the image of being an expert, speaking for many, rather than the image of an individual just speaking for yourself. Some of you said that you should write using big words. This is sort of true. You might have heard that the Inuit people have 50 words for snow. I don't know if it's exactly 50, but I'm pretty sure that they have more words for snow than I do. Same goes for science. The reason scientists use big words isn't to sound smart, it's to be precise. Scientists have been doing science for several hundred years now. There are millions of scientists currently doing their research. Each new discovery gives us a little more detail about how nature works, and each new detail has to be described so that it's distinguishable from other details. That requires new words, and after several hundred years, that's a lot of new words that have been invented. In your paper, you should use scientific terminology, and then you should be sure you provide definition or description of each term so that your reader has good context. That will help you be precise. But you don't have to use big words everywhere. Use everyday language where you can use everyday language. If you're talking about going for a walk, say that you're going for a walk instead of embarking on transport utilizing bipedal self-locomotion. That is, unless you intend to differentiate that from some other form of movement like walking using all four limbs, which would be quadrupedal locomotion. Cite your sources. Yes, you should have literature citation everywhere and anywhere you include information that is not common knowledge. If you're not sure if what you're writing is common knowledge, assume that it's not and provide literature citation. Complete literature citation should include brief in-text citation, usually with the author's name and year of publication in parentheses, such as, in parentheses, Kubota, 2020, end parentheses. Every source that you cite in your writing should be listed in your works cited section, and every item in your works cited list should be cited at least once in your writing. Provide sufficient background information. This is one place where your responses in the weekly reflections differ from one another. Some of you said that you should provide deep background. Others of you said that since your audience is already knowledgeable, you should skip the basics and just write about the specifics of your topic. The best papers will do both. Provide deep background and deep information about specifics. There are two main reasons for providing sufficient background information, even if the reader might know some of it. First, that background information provides context and framework so that your reader understands what exactly the topic is about. Secondly, sufficient detailed background gives the reader confidence that you, the author, know what you're talking about. That background helps you establish your expertise. Finally, write in your own words. This is one that not many of you mentioned, but it's very, very important. Quotes are almost never used in scientific research papers. Using a quote is an admission that you don't know the information well enough to write about it in your own words. That detracts from the expertise that you're working hard to establish and maintain. Write in your own words, everywhere you can. Even still, remember to cite the sources of your information. It's those information sources that you're giving credit to, regardless of the exact wording. Those are some good bits of advice that you came up with. If you follow them, they'll help you produce a strong research paper. Thanks for watching.